Hey everybody, Joe here. Got another episode for you. Well, guys, as it appears to be happening as I see it, the election fraud that Trump has been talking about for years, that he has just started talking about towards the end of the year, the beginning of this year, and just after Maduro, is starting to come out little bits at a time, of course. We saw what happened in Georgia. They mishandled ballots. They should not have been counted. They were counted and then not signed. There was no chain of command. So you don't really they're just saying, "Oh, those are valid. They're just were mishandled." The amount of which Trump would have won the election with. Still looking for those missing 11,000 ballots or whatever, because we know who actually won in 2020. But here you go, guys. Let's take a look at this. This is out now. Two different stories. We'll start here in my state. This is coming from Scott Pressler. Holy cow, holy cow. One of the biggest stories of the year, he says. Macomb County Clerk Anthony Forlini just put out a press release that hundreds of jurors could not serve because they're illegal aliens. Jury service summons are based on random draws from the driver's license bank. 239 non citizens were found in the jury pool over a 4-month period. It appears 14 of these prospective jurors were registered to vote at some point in time. One in particular appears to have voted several times. We were told that doesn't happen, by the way. So not only are illegal aliens allegedly getting driver's licenses in Michigan, but they're also allegedly being registered to vote, and there's even a case of one voting. And there's a case of many more voting. I actually know somebody whose non-citizen boyfriend or husband actually last go around got a mail-in ballot, even though he's not a citizen here. There you can see the letter now, right there, and highlighted text. What we have found is very disturbing, blah, blah, blah. And this is Macomb County, Michigan, guys. But then we've got this as well. Take a look at this next story. Let me get this readjusted for you. Here you have it. From Wokeness. I'm just going to let this play. You can read.
Filling out and submitting ballots from her former tenants.
In Franklin County, an apartment manager with access to ballots from former tenants allegedly abusing the system. This confirmed by Detective Andrew Gardner in his investigation.
I was able to identify several other ballots that look to have characteristics on the signature line that were not consistent with the signatures on file.
Investigators say 4 ballots were illegally submitted, with 3 being counted in the 2024 general election. The outlier was rejected because of a mismatched signature.
This case is still open, and we are still collecting information from community members that may have been affected by this.
According to the sheriff's office, the woman admitted to voting all 4 ballots and forging the signatures. She was booked into Franklin County Jail for 12 felony charges related to
filling out.
So there you have it. An apartment manager was using mail-in ballots that were counted. Her name was Esperanza Contreras. So what she was doing was she was filling these out and mailing them back, and these people didn't even live there. And of course, I'm sure it was for Democrats, and then that went into the voter count, and whoever was running there won. And this is, again, from 2024. So she's going to be facing some federal charges, but this is not something new. Meanwhile, over in Minnesota, which I was just reporting on a little bit ago, we have some new developments. Where is it? Tim Walz and the Minnesota government have decided, whether I can find it or not, I'll talk about it anyway. Have decided that they're going to sue the federal government for carrying out legal ICE operations in Minnesota. So, yeah, that's something that's happening currently. I know I had it marked here or bookmarked here, and now I'm not even seeing it. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and search it. Let's see if I can find it that way. Boop. Oh, boy. Yeah. let's see. What is this Grok saying? Let's take a look at. Grok always says what he thinks somebody wants to say or hear, I think, sometimes. Minnesota and 20 cities likely have standing to sue over the ICE surge due to one, direct injuries, strained local resources, schools and lockdowns, business. They did that by themselves. Economic harm and public safety disruptions. That's due to their insurgents that are causing the disruptions. Parents, protecting residents from fear, alleging excessive force, blah, 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 fatal shooting, and constitutional violations. Precedents like Massachusetts versus EPA show states can sue for harms quasi-sovereign interests. Courts will decide. Similar cases have mixed outcomes. And this won't stand, but he is definitely suing. Right here, you can see the article. Do blue cities want to block Americans from being safe by blocking ICE and police from keeping order in your city states? You pay taxes to be kept safe. You also pay taxes to keep the criminals. Minnesota sues to block ICE operations. So there you have it. They're another distraction. They won't win. It doesn't matter what Grok says with any of this nonsense here. Again, any injuries that are happening to insurgents. They're happening to insurrectionists who are illegally blocking ICE operations. I'm going to bookmark this and correct the record under Grok there later. But yeah, so you've got that going on. And then we also have this here. If I can find it real quick, let me go ahead back to bookmarks. And we've got this popping off in Florida finally, to all the people that say nothing's happening. Interesting, says Catherine Herridge, sorry. Florida federal grand jury begins today, January 12th, courthouse, Eileen Cannon, via Chief District Judge Cecilia Altanoga. Last month, former CIA Director John Brennan's lawyer wrote to the same judge and confirmed Brennan is a target of a grand jury investigation into the 2017 intelligence community assessment and Russian activities during the 2016 election. In the same letter, Brennan's lawyer accused the Trump Justice Department of venue shopping, which is just thick irony, with a preference for Judge Cannon's courtroom. Now, Judge Cannon is not necessarily on Trump's side. She did make some rulings against Trump in that last trial that she had for him. But here's the thing. Everything John Brennan did and his bad actors under Biden and stuff that were still holdovers and so on did happen to Trump in Florida. Even in 2016, 17, 18, 19, his residence was in Florida. He moved that, I do believe, when was that? Sometime before he left office, I think he moved his residence to Florida. And therefore, he's allowed to go ahead and bring these charges here, since that's where where he lives and where he was illegally raided over documents he had the legal right to have. Again, I've explained and shown you the laws in past shows. Basically a president can just go, this is no longer classified. That's the power they have when it comes to documents under their own, from when they were in office. So there you have it. Looks like we've got some movement on John Brennan. And then we've got this too. This is coming from the U.S. Attorney in D.C. According to the government's evidence from approximately April 2020, of course, until July 2023, under Biden, basically, Sutherland worked as a system administrator for the House of Representatives Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure. As a system administrator, Sutherland was authorized to order cell phones and committee staff members. So what happened? He is arrested and indicted on theft of over 240 cell phones. So he was most likely buying these things under the guise of it being the government, getting them for free, and then turning around and reselling them. Not the brightest bulb in the closet, I guess, but there you have it. So that's really what I had the updates for you for right now. That's all I really have for you right now. Unless you want to see this guy fight back against some lefties. I kind of do. Let's take a look. FYI, most states have laws against what this bitch is doing right here, or beta, or I don't know what that is, trans, whatever. It's just a mess. So this right here is actually considered assault in most states of the United States to put that close to this guy's head with that on high like that. That is assault. You can actually make somebody go deaf doing that, as a matter of fact. Or if the person, say this guy comes at him from this side and he turns, he'd hit his face on. There's all kinds of reasons that this is illegal. They don't care that it's illegal because they think they're fighting some kind of injustice that isn't happening. And this is why people get hurt. I'm going to be honest. This right here is why people get hurt. Because this guy now, he officially, it doesn't matter if this is a female, a male, a trans, it doesn't matter what this train wreck here is. This guy now officially has the right to defend himself. That's just facts. Also, I will point out that this is more fascism. They do not want opposing views anywhere near them. This guy has just as much right to stand on this public property and protest in favor of ICE as they have to make all their noise and act like a bunch of zoo monkeys and do the things that they're doing. So here we are. That's what I like to see. Again, I'll point out, like I say on my shows, I am not a, rise above person anymore. We've been rising above for over 10 years during this one-sided civil war this has been happening for 10 years with a 4-year break under Biden, where then they turned this same war into lawfare against our president because they knew he was going to win the election because they didn't have anything they could run on. So I'm all for this, and I'm just done. My last video, I showed you them throwing literally rock solid ice bottles through people's windows. Cam Higbee and the other guy, I can't, why his name's slipping my mind, trying to assault them, threatening them. This is the same thing we see all the time, guys. And why are they doing it? Because the Democrats deploy these people onto the streets because they don't want their voters, their illegal voters, to get deported. There's that train wreck. Yeah, it's a dude. That's a dude. That's the dude that he just smeared in the street.
Hey, guys.
Okay, give me a sec, guys. I got to see that again. It's lovely. See, this is what happens when they actually have to face somebody that isn't, scared of them.
Hey, guys.
He just took out 2 of them by himself. Anyway, guys, that's what I got for you. That was amazing. I will talk to y'all soon. I'll see you on the flip side.